Hello and welcome to the Emerge Leadership Connection, where we connect you with the ideas and concepts to unlock legendary leadership so you can emerge and become who you were meant to be. I'm your host, Cody Dakota, and on this meaningful Monday, I will be your leadership coach, teacher, and mentor. On today's episode, we will talk about John Maxwell's thoughts on fear, obstacles, courage, faith, and progress. If this is your first time listening to the Emerge Leadership Connection, stop immediately and go back to episode 0. If you want to get the full benefits that this podcast has to offer and emerge into who you were meant to be at a faster pace, then you will want to go back to that episode to understand the theory behind how each episode is designed to help you improve. Before we start, I'd like to thank our supporters, who allow us to continue to bring value to you while also allowing us to support amazing causes that will impact our future generations. If you would like to find out more about the causes we support, as well as how to become a member of our family and help us reach more people in order to impact our future, please go to www.emergeleadership.club, where you can check out all of our episodes, including many supporter-only episodes, as well as get access to exclusive member-only benefits. Again, that is www.emergeleadership.club to get that access and officially join our family. Also, while you're there, you should click the menu button and click on Books. My book, Legendary Leadership: How to Obtain Repeatable Monumental Results, is currently in the running for the Extraordinarian Award for coaches with ideas that can change people, businesses, and the future for the better, and I need your help to win the award. You will see some awesome benefits that you can get for supporting the book, including personalized signed copies by me, a chance to get a limited edition, legendary edition of the book, appearances on this podcast, and more. Remember, go to www.emergeleadership.club to check it out. Now, on to the show. Today's words of wisdom come from John Maxwell, who said, "Fear is the most prevalent reason why people stop. Faith is what makes people start." Now, this quote has a dichotomy that is the basis of it. It's fear versus faith, and stopping versus starting, right? Fear causes people to stop. Faith causes them to start. Now, this seems like a very basic topic. If you don't want to start on a project, there's probably fear behind it. It could be fear that I'm not good enough to do it. It could be fear that I haven't earned the right to be a part of this project, or I haven't earned the right to speak about it. It could be fear that I haven't been in the company long enough to be within this position. It could be fear of what others will say about me. It could be fear about this is one I've heard a lot of, is I used to be at the same level as these people, but now I'm ahead of them, and I'm afraid that's going to change our relationship as co-workers, as friends, as whatever. And all of these are parts of the fear that can go along with any new project, any new undertaking, any new position. And on the other side is faith, right? Faith that, I do have the ability to stand up here and speak on whatever the topic is. Faith that I do have enough experience to give me what I need to succeed. Faith in the people I'm around, that they'll still respect me, that they'll still understand me, that they'll still want to be my friends and help me accomplish the goals we have in front of us. That is where this all starts, between fear and faith. Now, there's some other pieces to this that are behind it, right? A lot of our obstacles are larger obstacles than they need to be because of fear, right? You see a project ahead of you, and it's a huge, monumental project, right? Could take months, years, whatever it is, depending on what type of project you're looking at. And looking at it like that as just such a large project, a lot of people begin to have fears of, is it even possible? Will all the hard work that goes into it make it worth doing? And that fear prevents them from even taking the first step. What I understand a lot more is that once you take the first step, even when it seems like a huge, gigantic goal, dream, project that you're working on, whatever it is, it becomes a lot easier to put the pieces together when you start to move forward, when you start to take some action. Those obstacles begin to seem a lot less challenging. I was reading a book not too long ago about this concept of flow. And in this book, they were talking about some rock climbers who basically had this, they were starting this new trend in the rock climbing world, that is. And they were trying to do these different rock walls without using any of the traditional tools to climb it. It's called free climbing, basically. And at the beginning of this movement, there were things that people saw as impossible, right? So they would get to a certain place and they couldn't do it. And so you had all these people who were extremely fantastic individuals in the free climbing world who got to these spots and stopped, and they just couldn't see how to get past it, right? And then all of a sudden there would be somebody who would chance it and figure it out, and then all of a sudden everybody could do it, right? And the one person who figured it out, they're not even necessarily always the best person at the rock climbing. It was just the person who was within that world who just discovered one thing that no one else saw. And then all of a sudden, their ability to overcome that fear gave everyone else faith that it was possible. And that right there is a sign of courage, right? To be told that something's impossible, to look at a project and see it as so big that it might never be obtained, to really face down that fear and go ahead and do it anyways. A lot of people believe that courage is lacking fear, that the most courageous people don't have fear. They just go into whatever scenario it is. But most of the most courageous people, if you actually talk to them, will tell you that they actually are full of fear, because courage isn't the lack of fear. Courage is facing it anyways, even though you do have fear. And that right there is the concept behind faith, right? Faith is having the courage to move forward even if there's no proof that it's completely true. Having the courage to move forward even though it's going to be difficult. The courage to move forward even though it may not succeed. That is what faith is. It's the belief that something good will come of everything even though there's no empirical evidence that it's going to happen. And it's faith that is required in our lives if we ever want to find progress. I know that there was a long period in my life where I lost a lot of faith. I lost faith in people. I lost faith in the systems around me. I lost faith in the future. And when you're in that kind of a world, nothing gets done. You kind of stay very stagnant, and very often things get worse. And that's not what you want. What I've discovered is when you begin to have faith in things and you begin to look towards the future and look at the possibilities that exist and look at people who look at the world in a different way, who see those possibilities, who believe that it's possible, who have faith, you begin to find progress becomes possible. I think I've talked about this story before, but it's worth mentioning again because I think it's a huge testament to this whole concept. During the time of the Wright brothers, there was another organization who was trying to create the first flying machine. and they were an organization that didn't even know the Wright brothers existed. That's how small the Wright brothers really were. No one really knew they existed unless they lived around where the Wright brothers were. Now, this organization was a gigantic organization. It was funded with millions of dollars. They had all the best scientists, the best engineers, the best minds of that time, and someone who was considered one of the best people to undertake the challenge of flying in general. And this whole organization completely failed. They weren't able to overcome the obstacles ahead of them. And a lot of the reason that is because they didn't actually have faith that it was going to succeed. They even though they wanted to make it happen, they didn't truly have faith in it. And because of that, they never actually made it succeed. Now, the Wright brothers, on the other hand, had nothing going for them. They didn't have money. They didn't have knowledge. They didn't have resources or people around them who understood how to get them connections, or like they had nothing. And yet they were able to accomplish creating the first flying machine. It has to do with faith. They believed it was possible. They believed that it could be done, and they believed they were going to be the ones to do it. There was no evidence that they could do it, and most of the people around them literally thought they were insane. I remember reading somewhere that his parents are their parents or their family members reported them to the church for being possessed by demons, for having these thoughts that flying was possible. And that it's crazy. When people don't have faith, fear rules them, and just any number of crazy things can come to their head. And a lot of times it's even, it's not even that they wanted the Wright brothers to fail at this huge idea that they had. It's that their faith was so little and their fear was so large that they couldn't even comprehend anything other than what was in their mind. And that's what we face a lot of in the world today as a whole. A lot of people are full of fear and they have very little faith. And it's destroying progress in many areas. People without faith really are lost. When you don't have faith in human society, when you don't have faith in your government, when you don't have faith in your educational system, when you don't have faith in your leaders, it's hard to have anything get accomplished for the better. And that's why we as leaders need to change this. We need to instill faith in our people that we are able to accomplish big dreams, that we are moving forward, that things are going to get better. I believe one of the big roles of a leader is to instill faith in their people. Because when we don't put faith into others, when we don't give them reason to have faith, fear will overtake people. That's proven time and time again. But with faith, the impossible becomes possible. So, my coaching questions of the day for you. Where is fear most prevalent in your life right now? Where is fear preventing you from starting anything? Where do you want to have faith? What do you need to have to inspire faith within you? Where in your life are others motivated by fear? What do you want to help them succeed at doing? How can you inspire faith in those individuals? Welcome back, and congratulations. You are one step closer to becoming who you were meant to be. I'm excited to hear about the fantastic takeaways you got from this episode. I'd love to hear from you, so go over to www.emergeleadership.club right now and click on the tab to see how to contact us, as well as see our other amazing services. While you're there, if you would like to emerge into who you were meant to be even faster, then you'll want to officially join our family by clicking on the Become a Patron button, where you can gain access to exclusive, member-only content that is absolutely amazing, including access to supporter-only podcasts, Q&A sessions directly with me, and the ability to get shout-outs on future episodes, all while also helping to support some amazing causes which are actively working toward improving the future for generations to come. Just make sure you got it. To join our family and get access to this exclusive, member-only content and help some amazing causes at the same time, go over to www.emergeleadership.club and click on the Become a Patron button right now. I'm your host, Cody Dakota, and I'm honored to have spent this time with you today. My final message for you today, and listen closely. It's time. Wake up your potential. Let go of your fears and anxieties, and let's discover what is possible. Emerge and become who you were meant to be.